Good morning. I hope everyone is having a great day. Looks like the screen is cutting off the very top of my head, but that's okay. Probably. But anyway, I hope you're having a great day. I'm having a really good day. Today, just Jody and I are at home together. He's off on Monday and Tuesdays, so he's at home with me today. Dakota's at work. He went in at either 5 or 7 this morning. And Elijah went to work at 8, I believe, or 8:30. I don't know. I wasn't up. So they're both gone and won't come in until later this afternoon. And Jody is watching westerns and dozing off and on. So, and I've been just tidying up my desk a little this morning. I don't know about y'all, but when I'm knitting and just doing projects and stuff, it piles up here. I have yarn just stacked on top of yarn. And just project after project just piles up here. So I cleaned off my desk and I got down to a Facebook find that I bought last week. I saw on a Facebook Marketplace. Do y'all ever check that for looms and yarns for your local area? Well, I saw on there that someone had some yarn for sale. And he had like a big box of yarn. And he just took a picture of the top. Well, I could see something under the yarn. And I knew that was something that I wanted. I didn't know what all was in there. But I saw enough. So what I saw was this Knifty Knitter set. It was in the bag, and I could tell that it was in the bag, and it was like upside down like this, and I could just see this little red and blue and green and yellow. So I knew all 4 were in that bag. The rest of it was covered in yarn, and I could just see that. Now, I didn't know if the pegs were broke on it or anything like that. But I messaged the guy and told him that I would like the box of yarn and set up a time to meet him and everything. And so I went and looked, and he brought the box out there to my car. And I said, do you mind if I look at it to make sure it's what I want? And he said, oh, sure, go ahead. So I picked up those looms to, look at them and make sure they didn't have broke pegs or anything like that. They were all perfect. And then it was a bunch of yarn, but guess what else was in the box? The whole set of the Knifty Knitter long looms was also in that box. So I got the little pink and the yellow, the green, and the long blue. Now I do have the long loom set from Michael's, but I know that these were very popular at one time, and still are if you can find them. But and they were in the box that they originally came in. So I thought that was pretty neat. So I ended up with a full set of the round looms and the long looms. And so I was very excited. So the box of yarn and everything was $25. And so I don't know that I would pay $25 for a box of yarn that's been sitting in someone's closet. I don't know. Not knowing if it was full skeins or half skeins or, what's going on with that box. But when I saw the little hint that the Knifty Knitter looms were in there, I wanted to check it out and see. So anyway, 25 bucks for this box of yarn and these 2 sets of looms. And let me just say that these looms also all have their pegs. They're in perfect condition. No issues with them whatsoever. So, anyway, I didn't have I had a 20 and a 10 on me, and I hated to ask for change. So once I saw that all these looms were in there, I gladly gave him the 30 bucks. But so added bonus was that there was yarn in the box, and so it's probably not yarn that I would just go pick out. A lot of it's a homespun yarn, and while I work with a homespun yarn, it's just not my favorite. But anyway, there was some yarn in there that this yarn reminded me of the ponytail ties from like in the 70s. That was the big fat yarn ties. I know I used to wear pigtails with the big bows on each side of the ponytail yarn ties. Do you know what I'm talking about? They were really popular back, I guess, in the 70s. So they had some yarn in there that was just like that. I mean, it's big, thick yarn. I don't know if you can tell that, but yeah, it's big, thick, fluffy ponytail tie yarn is what I would call it. Anyway, so I made these two hats already out of some of that yarn. And then I'll just share with you some yarn that came in it. So here was the a homespun. Let's see if I can fix that light just a little. Some green homespun yarn. Let's see, maybe if I go this way. Here's some that's real fallish looking. It's kind of a copper, gold, yellow, green, and red. It's all homespun again. So, and there was 2 skeins of that. So that would make up something, you know, if I wanted to do a triangle shawl for fall for someone. And here's a light blue. And then let's see what else is in here. Here is a just a brown, black, copper color skein of yarn. Here's another homespun that it's a little bit different from the other one that I just showed. This one has some red, greens, yellows, a hint of turquoise. So that would be another pretty fall color. This one, I believe, matches the first 2. It might match that one. I don't know. They're all very similar. And then here's a black homespun. And then, what else is in here? Oh, here's another of the fall color one. Okay, and then here's a couple of things. This, and I'm assuming all this is older yarn, but this is a velvety dark purple. I know there's some new velvet yarn out, but this is definitely not it. But I'm assuming it's an older yarn, but I don't know what brand or anything like that. And here's a black one also that is the velvety. Here's some kind of little fun project yarn. I don't know what I'll ever use that for, but I have a couple little odd skeins kind of like this that I have in a drawer together, so I'll probably just add that in there until something hits me. And then there's a few things just for trash. And then there's this not sure exactly what this is. It's a line brand yarn. It's kind of like a ribbon. It says line brand yarn Trillis, a shimmering lace ribbon yarn for knitting and crocheting. And it's considered a bulky number 5. And it's called Stained Glass. I haven't seen this, but you know, there's lots of things I probably hadn't seen. But you can tell that it is a ribbon. Very interesting. I definitely don't know what I'll do with this. I could pair it with another yarn. I don't know. If you have ideas for this, definitely tell me in the comments. If you've seen this, if you've used it for something, or if you have an idea that I can use it for. And there's a few more things that I'll probably just throw away because they're like little half skeins or just little scraps, but nothing that I think's worth saving. So anyway, I think that was a very good deal for $25. I ended up paying $30, but for $25. Very pleased with that. So check out your Facebook Marketplace and see if you can find yarn, or you never know, you might find loom knitting. I have found another set of Knifty Knitters on Marketplace before. It was missing the small 24 peg blue loom. It had the red, green, and yellow, but it was just $5. And so I set it up for my oldest son to meet her when he got off work one day, and he picked it up and brought it home, and they're great. Although I will say the Knifty Knitter looms are a little bit heavy for my hands once you add the yarn on there, especially if it's a bulky yarn, you know, a big jumbo bulky yarn. It gets really heavy. And I was making some purses on the big 41, oh, you see it, the 41 yellow loom that I have. And it did get really heavy. It's just, my hands just, you know, because I'm holding it with either 2 fingers or 3 fingers. And so it really does get heavy on my hands. My favorite to use is the newer version of the Michaels Loops and Threads looms. They have the harder rubbery plastic ones that's kind of like the Knifty Knitters, you know, and then they have that new very, very lightweight plastic that where it's all made in one piece, the pegs don't come out. That's the set I prefer, since it's very light and it's easier on my hands. But anyway, that's what I'm doing today, just kind of cleaning off my desk, and now I just piled it up, so I need to put this yarn away, and I'll be checking back with you throughout the day. Here you go, Lucy. Here you go, Lucy. Oh, here come the guineas. So I was cleaning out the pantry, and there was some vanilla wafers left over from making a banana pudding, and some crackers and things that are probably stale. So I thought I'd just come feed them to the birds. There's our big guinea right there, and then we have a ton of tiny little guineas. I have on flip-flops, and One of the chickens decided to try a toe. You can see our big old turkey. His name is Big Boy. And then we have 2 female turkeys. There's one. I don't know where the other one's at. We have the 2 geese. They're like the property police. I don't know how many chickens we have, but then we have about 25 to 30 guineas. And I think 6 ducks. And we might have 2 baby ducks that are still in the coop. Here comes a few more chickens that just realized things is going on over here. This is Elijah's hobby. His chickens and ducks, geese, turkeys, and guineas. Check out that chicken right there with the big furry feet. Oh, he walked off. There's a mama chick over here with 2 little tiny baby chickens. Let's see if she'll come a little closer. Oh, she's got 3 baby chicks with her. She don't want to bring her babies any closer, I guess. There, yeah, you can see them. I spent the afternoon working on a new cleaning schedule for our family that seems to have to make a new one each season of life that rolls around. As life changes, you know, things happen. But Elijah works every year, every fall, for the pumpkin patch and Christmas tree farm. So that has started, and he's working 6 days a week, and then on the 7th day, he has homeschool co-op. So otherwise, he'd be working 7 days a week if he didn't have that. But we do have homeschool co-op, so he doesn't work on that day. And it's long hours, from like 8 a.m. to like 6:30 p.m. So he's not here to do stuff that needs to be done, and it's really hard. He comes home so tired, and it's really hard to get much done. And Dakota is a manager at Michael's, and he just got promoted to replenishment manager, and so he goes in at 5 a.m. till about 3:30 or 4 p.m. But here it is, it's 5:30 now and he still hasn't made it home, so who knows. And then my husband works 7 days a week, and several of those days, Wednesday's a normal day, like 8 to 5. Thursdays is like 8 to like 7 in the evening, and then Fridays he goes in at like 6 a.m. till 5 or 6 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday is 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., which usually ends up being like 11 p.m. or so. So anyway, saying all that to say that he works very long hours too, and I'm just not able to do what I used to do and clean up and stuff. I want to do it, and I feel guilty that I can't do it, but my body just won't hold out to do it. So I piddle and try to do what I can, but it's just not enough. So anyway, saying all that to say that I've spent the day trying to revamp our chore system, dividing it up so everybody has, chores, which we've done a chore chart all my kids' life, so they're well accustomed to that. So I got my planner out, and I've been working in that and writing down things that need to be done per room and such. I'm just trying to divide it up, divide the house up in zones. Zone 1 is the front porch, the parlor, and the bathroom. Zone 2 is the kitchen and laundry room. Zone 3 is the living room and dining room and den. And Zone 4 is the 3 bedrooms. So just trying to divide it up into zones and then split that up between people and see if we can't get back on a regular schedule here or something, because this past week when everybody started their new shifts and jobs and such, things got out of hand here. I'm like, whoa. And I'm the type of person that I just can't function in chaos. I have to have clean space for my sanity. I mean, really, if the house isn't clean, I'm just not happy. Go ahead and I'd go ahead and use it all, because it would just go bad before we use it. Elijah's cooking broccoli and rice and chicken casserole for dinner tonight, so he was asking me about the broccoli. We brought fresh broccoli out of the produce section, and he was asking me about using it all or just part of it. But anyway, so that's what I've been working on today, is our family cleaning schedule, trying to get this house back under control. Writing down things that people need to do in the mornings before they leave for work, and things that they need to do at night before they go to bed. And then the afternoon things, which is what needs to be done. And I'll try to do my part the best that I can. I feel very, very guilty that I'm the one at home but can't do these things. It's hard on me. It's hard on me mentally not to be able to do what I want to do, because in my mind there's so much I want to do, but physically I can't do those things. So I do struggle with that, trying to just accept that there's things I can't do. Anyway, didn't mean to go off on that. So Elijah's cooking dinner, and I have a list of jobs for the boys to do tonight, and then we're just gonna try to kick back a little bit tonight before we go to bed and just relax. I hate to just, when they come home from work, say, do this, do this, do this, you know. I try to give them a time to relax just a little bit, and then ask them to do some things. So hopefully this evening, well, Elijah did get off early today. They had field trips, and so he got off a little early today when the field trips left, and so I let him rest for about an hour after he got home, and then I, you know, gave him his list of chores to do, and so he's cooking now. He's done half his chores already, and he can finish those up and get a shower, and maybe we can just all sit back and watch a movie or something a little bit. I love spending time with my family. My family is just everything to me. So, I think that's going to end it for today, because, like I said, I plan to just chill the rest of the evening with them. So, thanks for hanging out with me today, and hopefully I'll make a video for Vlogtober tomorrow. Bye.